Let's get started with the demo now. Today I will take you through an inventory management dashboard and a prediction report for supply chain managers at a sportswear company. With this dashboard that you see on the screen, a supply chain manager can keep a tab on daily status of orders, manage delays more effectively, and take prompt corrective actions. Let me quickly explain you through the dashboard. So what we have at the top is order status, number of orders, completed, declined, cancelled, and suspected. So this suspected belongs to those set of orders which have been tampered, or there's some kind of a tampering that has happened and there is some type of loss. So those are number of orders that have been falling into the suspected. And what we see next is, let's look at annually order versus complete, or the versus analysis. So when I say versus analysis, we have this information for a period of 3 years, 2018, 19 and 20. And if I want to look in for 2020 in particular, I can select that, and whole dashboard boils down to information only for 2020. And I can drill down to the next level. So this is how we can drill down to the more granular level. So one is year, next is quarter, next is month level and day level. So I can go from Q4 to month level as well, which is October, November and December 2020. And in this, I wanted to see another versus analysis for product wise as well, which is order versus complete again. So when I hover my mouse of any one of these product categories, I can see fan shop, apparel, golf, footwear, fitness and outdoors. So let me say I want to see for a particular category, which is golf. So Intellicus dashboards or the OLAP dashboards are interactive, and also at the same time you can go down from summary level to the more granular level. So now we have a product category which is golf, and I went to a granular level which is the lowest hierarchy in this particular set, which is product name. So now if I want to look in for golf gloves, so in the year of 2020 for golf gloves, these are number of orders and rest statuses, which is completed, declined, cancelled and suspected. And also supply chain manager can have a quick look at the shipping status and delivery status. So for this, let me drill up to the top level again and clear all the filters or the selections that I made. And you can see how quickly it comes back to the information that we first saw when we started the demo. So not only drill up and drill down, you can also drill up level and drill down level to go to the parental level or the more child level as well. So now a supply chain manager can see, so how many of these number of these orders are into late shipping, advanced shipping, shipping on type and shipping cancelled. And we have a deliver status for the same set of orders, which is early delivery, late delivery, on time delivery and cancelled. So now I can only look in for late shipping and subsequent status for late shipping, which is again the completed, declined, cancelled and suspected out of the orders which have been fallen into the late shipping. And now I wanted to see top 5 products for the product category or for the product hierarchy that I have in place, which is I have boys apparel, golf gloves, indoor outdoor games, girls apparel, fishing. So now I want to bring in only top 5 among the set of products that I have in place. And then we have an order count and late delivery. So when I hover my mouse on any of these bars, not only the hierarchical analysis can be done on the product categories or any of those periodical things, you can go to the day level as well. So now I can see here in the month of June 2018, orders of 5,000, late deliveries 3,000 were fallen into late delivery. So now I can see on a day level as well. So that granular level, you can see for this particular date, order I had 150 and late delivery were 85. This is all historical data which is pre-aggregated. And now in the form of variance indicators, I wanted to see the order trend, which is for each of the months in those years, 2018, 19 and 20, what was the order trend? And the percentage increase and decrease being automatically drawn using variance indicators, which is inbuilt. So now you draw any periodical analysis across or against the order count, you'll see how was the decrease and increase. So one significant part I can concentrate, or any supply chain manager can see here, is January 2020, February 2020, March 2020 has been a continuous or the consistent decline due to the pandemic that just got shot in India from the mid of January, and then February and March. So from April again it got gradually increasing. So now this gradual increase might be due to some sporting events, or though the sporting events are behind the doors without any audience, still the amount of sporting goods that needs to be channeled out to different countries from where it is being ordered is also being taken care when we see the surge or the increase in the set of order count. Now, when I did all of this operation on screen, you also can, or supply chain manager can do a YTD analysis. All context filters at the top, he can do a YTD analysis. Just click on YTD, it will take to the current year. And if I say I want to compare for 2 years, I say 1 year, which is current year and 2019. And if I mention the date out here, so if I want to say for particular, let's say August 31st, that is where my data resides. And then we are trying to do the YTD analysis. So if I want to remove the selection, or if I want to combine the selection, I can do that. One is YTD for 2020 and 19, and then do a fan shop. And then I want to see for a particular region as well. Or if I want to clear out the filters, I can just remove all the filters that have been selected. It is just on the user. A business user can make use of those filters and apply the criteria and remove them if they don't need that. And coming on to the geographical analysis, we can have a look at zonal analysis also. I can maximize the view. So north, west, central, south, east 1, east 2, or if I want to concentrate on the southern part. So I drill down to the state level where I have Karnataka, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh. I drill down to Andhra Pradesh, which takes you to the city level, which has been again color coded. So the brighter the color, more the orders. And if I want to drill up again to the state level and bring up another state information, or I want to perform an action or select for a particular state in information. So I can say Karnataka, just selected the data, and the whole dashboard brings information only for Karnataka. And then I can set selection as filter so that you can compare between multiple states. So now I can compare between Karnataka or the other state from other zone. So usually it is a zonal analysis. So if you want to compare between multiple zones, you can do that as well. Or states from different zones, you can do that. And all this information, now a supply chain manager can easily export this information in the form of dashboard to different file formats: MS Excel, Acrobat PDF, Word, and PowerPoint. And he can also set automated schedule to share this dashboard with other users on specified time intervals. So I can share this or schedule this to share it with different stakeholders on a specified time intervals. So which is for now once or recurring. I select a date for the schedule to be end, and daily analysis, daily rendering of the report, whether it needs to be emailed, print, or upload or published in the form of link, attachment, file name is sales, to subject is sales analysis. On success you can notify, on error you can notify, in the form of what report format you want to see. All this information can be sent to different stakeholders in the form of dashboards or in the form of attachment as well. Let me bring in the dashboard again. So with this, we'll also understand the prediction capabilities, wherein for the same information, how a supply chain manager can make use of the prediction report, which will help him to see the late delivery forecast for a period of 1 month. So for now, we can take for a month, for a year, for a weeks. So the prediction can be for any tenure. So what we have in here is, we have shipping modes, we have product segment, and a forecasted late delivery bifurcation. So for current month, actual orders for the week would be 1013, and we have a predicted late delivery of 381 and predicted on time or early delivery of 632. So out of these actual orders, this is the bifurcation that I have. So on a quick look, SEM personnel can understand what is the predicted late delivery and what is the predicted on time or early delivery of the orders. And next is product bifurcation in the form of categories. And one significant part that we need to look in is shipping mode. So many a times what happens is, we see the shipping modes are into different bifurcation, whether it is a standard class, same day, second class, and first class. As we can see over here, the percentage of late delivery is more in standard class compared to the first class. So most of the late deliveries are being done with the standard class delivery mode, same day, and least is first class, which is 2.40 percentage or 2.46 percentage. And then we have information on a zonal wise, wherein we were on a note on a first site, we can say the brighter the color or the higher percentage. For example, eastern region of India is having the highest late delivery percentage. And if you take central part, you can see 37.96% and the topmost color, which is 43.76%. And a power user can change the way how it is presented. So now I can just change it to different view. I can make use of different types of visualizations then and there. So now also, if I want to add a new view, these are set of views into a dashboard. I want to add a new view. I can click twice or I can drag and drop and then change the way how it is, how you want to present it or how it has to be brought up. As per the data, if you want to compare, go for the particular visualization. If it is a periodical analysis, there you have which is the actual versus predicted. For a period of November, there was actual data, and the first week of December, we are having the predicted data for the late delivery. And then we have a delivery day in days bifurcation from -4 days delay, -3 days delay to 3 days delay. So from least to maximum, you can imagine about the days delay in terms of delivery. So minus 4 days being, which is good for me. 3 days is a very huge delivery delay for me, which is the last particular bar. So this is kind of a histogram that helps you to identify from least to the maximum. This is how you can add, you can change the view, and as I said, you can schedule these information to be sent to different stakeholders and in the different file formats. And when I operate or do any change, for example, if I just say standard class, how many of them are actual orders, what is the predicted late delivery, predicted on time, and in terms of percentage, what is the prediction. So in few seconds from the click, it brings you the information, or it fetches the information in no time. And these accurate forecasts are critical to in terms of demand and supply planning. Especially in the times of pandemic, this predictions will help you to give more concentration on which mode, which particular state needs the order to be placed, of which warehouse it is coming, which particular order is getting delayed, what family it belongs to. All that matters in terms of prediction. So for that, when I say it matters, we have another prediction report, which is helps you to do a what if analysis, leveraging the capabilities of machine learning. So let's quickly look at a machine learning in addition to what if analysis. When I run or when I point to anything, it just go back, reads the information, takes out the historical data, considers the independent variables. That is what it did. It took out the independent variables that I wanted to read, and then it brings out the information, or it fetches the information for different product categories. So with this information, with this visual, what we can think of is, what if I choose this information this way? So in a modular fashion, how Intellicus helps you to bring in the information is, there are 4 different categories of products. One is fan shop, golf, apparel, and footwear. And then for any supply chain manager from a sportswear company, if he has to look at this information, what he will do is, the historical data is already with you. You have to take that data into the consideration. And when I hover my mouse, there are some independent variables or predictors which will help you to get the late delivery. So what are those independent variables? Days for shipment schedule. What is the shipment days? From which state it is being ordered, from which state it is being shipped, and what is the shipping mode, which will give me 2 things. One is late delivery and the order count also. And order count is again an individual variable of the predictor for me. How many orders are placed? So let's take a Olympic example. When there is a sudden surge of orders from the sportswear companies across the globe or across India. So now with this historical data, on the right hand side, there are some translucent bars with the dotted lines, which will help you to see the prediction. Now, when I say that, on the historical data, there are some pink reddish bars, which are late delivery. And if I say comparatively on the blue bars, they are less. So if I want to understand what if I change some of these parameters, for that, I say what if analysis. What if there is a sudden surge of the order placements or order requirement? So let me turn order count by 60%, apply. It'll now, as I could see the information earlier, before applying or increasing the order count, there were only 2 pinkish red bars which were into the late delivery. On the golf section, all we had is blue. But now when there is a sudden surge of orders, I could see there is some late delivery that is going to happen in upcoming week. And let's increase this by another parameter. So let's say now order state, I want it to be from Punjab. So now orders are coming from Punjab. So now apply and let's look at the information what it brings for fan shop and the golf. So now for fan shop, still there is a late delivery, but for golf, it is not. So that late delivery is not there. For from fan shop, still we have something. And if I just say, I'll get these orders from first class shipping mode. And let's look at the information what it brings. When I say there is a sudden surge from shipping from the orders from the state Punjab, and there is a shipping mode which is first class. Now I can, as I can see the information over here, there is no late delivery prediction or the predicted late delivery that I can see in any of the product category families. So this is how Intellicus can help SCM managers or a decision takers to bring in the information and say, with the application and the leveraging the machine learning capabilities of Intellicus, you can predict what best decisions or what best parameters I can apply, which state or which particular shipping state I can rely upon. And that's the information that we had to share today. So in a short note, that's what we had to cover in the whole demo. Please share your questions through Q&A chat box and we'll be happy to answer them. Over to you, Shilpi.
Sure. Thanks, Sagar. We already have some questions coming in, so we can start addressing those. Meanwhile, if there are any more questions, please send them to us through the chat or the Q&A box that you have. So the first question that we have here is that how did you find the predicted late delivery and the predicted on-time delivery? So Anurag or Sagar, do you want to address this one?
Yeah, Anurag this side. So we had the historical data and the various factors which were actually impacting which were letting us know how these or what all deliveries were delayed. And what we have done is we have factorized and created a model and trained a model considering all those factors. Those factors may be the destination, the type of delivery, the type of product, so that the model is matured enough to find a correlation between all these factors. And then using that correlation, first tried to predict the number of probable orders. Now, based on that orders, again, that was bifurcated based on the different locations, different product types. And then we have applied this model further to see out of those orders, probable orders, how much of them might get delayed. And using a what if, then we can do a kind of prescriptive where we can ask system, okay, I can see that my X out of Y number of orders will be delayed. So what can I do now? How can I see? How can I drill down to the next level? So that system can help, Intellicus can help in getting that analysis.
Okay, thanks, Anurag. The next question is that, is there any view of vendor managed inventory? So can there be any dashboard like this around vendor managed inventory?
Yes, definitely. We can design so, and we can again have a multiple hierarchies, multiple dimensions in order to manage or show every BOM, bill of materials, to any granular level, any location, globally. So all those different dimensions can be taken care of, and then we can create a holistic 360-degree view dashboard.
Okay. The next question is, how is this any different from the standard PBI functions? For example, in the analytical section, PBI has key influencers. What if etc. capabilities as well? How is this different?
Okay, so first of all, this tool Intellicus has capability or has flexibility to include any factors, n number of factors, even from the raw data itself, we can process the unstructured data to make it available for the model to get trained and ingest it, so that we do not miss any factors which might impact in our prediction. That is one part to it, and that covers everything: the time series, the seasonality, everything. Okay, and how it is different from the other PBI function is that it covers end-to-end spectrum. Like, it's not just the analytical or just the machine learning part of it. So your data ingestion part, processing, cleaning, messaging, then correlating and doing the modeling and prediction. So it covers the whole spectrum. And further, once it has been generated, even the alerts, we can write a mechanism or to generate alerts and then distribute among the audiences, so that whole story can be controlled using Intellicus.
Sure. Okay. The next and slightly similar question is, what is the machine learning engine being used? How is that different from Triveda modules in PBI that can be configured in DAX?
Okay. So this is one of the examples which we have tried to demonstrate. There are further more use case which can be developed and which we have developed for our customers. Okay, and we are using Python as a machine learning engine in the background. So Intellicus supports seamless connectivity with Python, where the data processing, the ETL, and the visualization layer of Intellicus is being used to seamlessly connect with the Python, so that the user gets an end-to-end can taste end-to-end power of Python and get these kind of analysis done. So we are using Python in the background.
Okay, we have 2 to 3 more questions to go. The next is this purely based on historical data? How is the predictive analytics taking into consideration variances such as seasonality, embargo, etc.?
Okay. I answered this in the previous question as well. So the different IVs, the independent variables or the factors which we have considered. So we can include seasonality as well and any other factors. And what we do is, first of all, before applying that model, we try to find out the importance of those factors. Now, suppose there are 100 columns or 100 data points in our transactional data. Now, which are the one relevant, which are actually impacting my forecasting or my model? So first we try to find out that, and based on that, we then create a model. Now, not necessarily a user who is an expert or a proficient needs to do that. Even a wizard, a UI-based wizard, whereas even a business user can simply select from a list of available algorithms. You can select what to predict and what are the factors, and system will assist in generating the desired script to create or design these models. Okay. So
Okay.
we are considering right now all those factors, seasonalities, not particularly in this case, but that can be added. Any factor can be added.
Okay, the next question is, what if when the product is new, like the product to be sold, if it's new with no previous history or has not been selling till that particular point because of the unavailability? So how will you sort of create analytics around that product?
Okay, yeah, that's a very nice question and a very practical. Now, what the machine learning says is that it needs a learning to predict. But what can be done is, for a particular category of inventory, or if it falls, we can somehow classify them into a particular category. So that existing learning can be applied on this one. Might not be a very accurate one, but eventually nowadays there are various other attributes or the common attributes which, if shared by this new product, we can inherit from the existing one. We can try to mature that model and then do the prediction.
Okay. The next question is, do you have a standard list of SCM reports configured into the tool that can be plugged and play with the minor customization for specific areas like demand planning, inventory, fulfillment, etc.?
Okay, so Intellicus is a platform on its own. We do not ship any ready-made content as such, but we have developed multiple of these use cases for our customers, many customers, and they are big FMCG, big SCM, a big name in the supply chain management. And the product and the components, or probably I'll say the feature in the product is robust enough to accommodate any change or any data source. So what can be done is, if someone needs any specific use case from our available portfolio, we can set that up and then try to connect with your data source. And yes, with very small changes, small minor configurations, they can be reused based on the applied data set. We have that flexibility.
Okay. Next question is, any real-time inputs like any supply chain risk in a particular geography are taken into consideration while predicting delivery?
Yes, we do that. We definitely do that. And even for this pandemic situation, so the use case which we try to demonstrate. So again, initially, one use case can be, a standard use case can be, where we show a holistic view or a global forecasting. Okay, these were the number of orders, and these were what we predict will get delayed. But if you've seen, we can further drill down to the next level. We can drill down to a specific location as well. So in order to find out where exactly my impact is, and because every product line, every inventory, every location will have its own model to be created and its own, I'll say, individual impact. So we definitely take care of that and can be taken care of. Again, it depends on the algorithm which we use. But if I talk about the product, so product has that capability that it can do a global, you can create a common model also. Also, if you want, on a single visualization, on a single dashboard, where every widget has its own model to be created, its own learning to be done, and then we do the prediction. So that is also possible.
Right, Anurag, we have two more questions to go. The next is, so for creating new visualizations, is GUI based, low code or no code, and what is the confidence level of the predictability?
Okay, so this is again, it's a no code. So what we promote is a self-serve kind of thing. We want to empower the business user. So creating these kind of dashboards require, no technical expertise, no coding, simple drag and drop. All the formatting properties are available on screen, and the interconnectivity, or I'll say the cross-filtering mechanism between these widgets, like if you select one, the other will get filtered, is internally taken care by the system based on the data models which has been created. So it's a no-code kind of visualization, yet very powerful and interactive. Talking about the confidence level, Pranjal, I'm not very sure. I think it was more than 80%, but Pranjal, if you can give the exact number.
Yes, Anurag, it was 83% around confidence.
Okay. So yes, it's 83%.
Okay, and after this, we got a couple of more questions. The next one is, does this platform has the flexibility to change stat model used, and does the tool cut or smoothen spike in historical data?
Yes, we can do that. We can smoothen that. Even we can, both the things, we can smoothen also, and if you want to just highlight the anomalies, we can do that also. We can do the specified use case. We can achieve it.
Okay. What is the best way to convert qualitative inputs to quantitative terms?
Okay. So from qualitative to quantitative, if I talk about technically, so obviously there is a feature encoding where those categorical variables can be converted or can be considered in our modeling or learning training phase. So that is there. And secondly is when you categorize the data, probably, or create a taxonomy of a data. So that, and if a system has that flexibility, and probably Intellicus has that flexibility, that the modeling can be done at different levels. So that takes care of this. this particular problem.
Okay, and Anurag, the last question that we have is, what is the difference between Intellicus and Tableau? And can you talk about a few real examples of your deployment, or is there any specific industries or areas that you are more focused on versus the other?
Okay, so I can definitely speak about Intellicus, like and how we stand in front of Tableau or any other BI tool. So first thing is that Intellicus is a data engineering platform. It is not a visualization tool as per se. So what we offer is the whole cycle or whole spectrum of data or full journey of data can be managed using Intellicus, which includes extraction, connectivity of data with multiple systems. So like you talk about industry, so you have different SRM systems, SCM systems, ERPs, data in their master files, different HR systems, different logistic systems. So Intellicus has that capability that it can connect with all these different applications, different databases, pull in the data. It has its own inbuilt ETL module, very powerful ETL module, which can clean the data, massage it, enrich it using machine learning algorithm, correlate it, and then use it for the analytics purpose. In addition to that, the machine learning part capability, the broadcasting of a report, distributing it to different audience, having alerting mechanism, a scheduler. So as I said, it covers full spectrum of a data in an organization. So that gives an edge if you compare to any other visualization tools. And if I specifically talk about the BI capabilities, so we have almost all the capability which any other tool has. All the standard capabilities are there. We have good and powerful charts, graphs, which are highly scalable, and it's a web-based platform, can be easily embedded inside any application, any web application. Lightweight, IT footprint, but still very powerful, scalable. So there are many alpha key differentiators if I talk. But key one is that we help you or organizations to manage their data to any extent, and we can call it as a data partner for organizations. We are not just a UI tool or a visualization tool. So that is how I would like to answer that. Shilpi, what was the second part of the question?
The second part was, can you give any examples of your deployment in other STM companies, or is there any specific industry or areas that you are more focused on versus the other?
Okay, probably I'll request Piyush if you can answer that. It's your forte.
Yeah, sure. So not exactly SCM companies, but we are working one of the major FMCGs companies, two major FMCGs company in India. They are big giants. So we are helping them not only in the supply. I mean, we are helping not only for their other business analytics, but for their supply chain also. And third one, we are talking at the very mature stage. And couple of electronic manufacturers also. Those are into pipeline, and solution can be deployed within a month or two.
Okay, thanks, Piyush. Anurag, just one more last question for you is, second, I'll pull it up. It says the data schema is done by the tool itself in the background, or is the data schema done by the tool itself?
Yes, it's done by itself. So there are two ways to do it. System can assist also in doing so. We have a wizard-based UI. So even if someone is not proficient in writing SQL, so system can assist that. Just a UI drag and drop, just like a no coding kind of functionality. And if someone wants to create an advanced data model, he can do that. And that's a one-time activity. Later on, that can be automated and scheduled so that the incremental data coming in will be automatically following that model and will be consumed for analytical purpose.
Okay, I think we've covered all the questions here. This has been a very interactive session. So thank you everybody for taking out time and joining us today. If you have any more questions, if you have any more queries regarding this solution, or if you want to see any other capabilities of our product, you can please visit our website and you can raise a request there. We'll reach out to you and we'll set up that demo for you as well. All right, thank you everyone. We can conclude now. Thanks to all the panelists for conducting the demo and addressing all the queries. Thank you everyone. Have a good day ahead.
Thank you, Shilpi.
Thank you all.
Thanks everyone. Have a great evening. Thanks.